All right, folks. Yeah, let's talk about some Arc World Tour. DBFZ was my first fighting game. Me too. Me too. DBFZ. Well, I mean, the first fighting game that I actually played when I was a sentient human being and not just mashing buttons like a 9-year-old. But let's talk about something real quick here, and that is notably, it's been a little bit. We made a lot more videos about these as they were happening, but we had that break with all of the platinum events, right? The sort of back-to-back platinum events there to qualify people in for the Arc World Tour finals, playing for $100,000 right there. And now we are here. The LCQ is this weekend, and obviously the finals is the very day after that, right? So time to rev back up, get back into tournament modes, try thinking about all, quick refresher of who's qualified, how different people might have been affected by the patch and things like that. Yeah, and then also we have the schedule, the actual schedule here. We can do this first, I guess. So this is all in Pacific Daylight Time. So if you're Eastern Time like me, just add 3 hours to this, right? So for example, the LCQ for Grand Blue is actually on the 21st, which is, I guess, a little bit, maybe it's 22nd in Japan, I guess, probably? I don't know how time zones work, but yeah, it's the 21st here at 3 p.m. Pacific is when it starts, so 6 p.m. my time until 8 p.m. right there. Probably gonna go a little, I mean, Grand Blue doesn't go overtime, I think, usually. The sets are not that long, but we'll see. So 3 hours right there. And then, obviously, you have Guilty Gear Strive and Uni as well, but I'm more of interested in the Grand Blue stuff. On the Saturday, there is going to be the group stages for... So the LCQ is going to qualify in the last 16th person into Arc World Tour, right? And then, they go through groups on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, we have our top 8, right? So 2 people make it out of each group. There's 4 groups. That gives us 8 people. And then from there, right, we have our top 8 on Sunday. So the groups, again... That's, 1 p.m. my time on the Saturday until 6:30, and then the top 8 is starting at 5 p.m. my time to 7:30 p.m. my time. Again, this is Pacific Daylight Time, so if you're in the UK or what have you, you can convert from there. But yeah, so probably what I'm going to end up doing, I don't normally stream on Fridays, but I think I am actually going to stream for this, because, it's Arc World Tour, it's once a year, it's cool, why not? So we probably will be live at 5:30 or something like that, when waiting for this to get started, and we'll watch the LCQ. I am not here on the Saturday, so we're not going to watch the groups. It's also it's a little bit longer, right? But I'm also just out. I do have plans, unfortunately, this Saturday, so we're probably not going to watch these, at least not live as they happen. Maybe I'll just stream for a really long time on Sunday, huh? Maybe we'll start the stream on Sunday at how long are these? This is 10 a.m. to 3:30, so that's 5.5 hours. I could start the stream at 11 a.m. on Sunday, watch the groups, and they would have already happened, but we watch them, and then by the time we're done, we're right about rolling up to the top 8. We could do that. That could be fun. Have a super duper extra long stream for Arc World Tour. I got no problem with that. So yeah, we'll watch all those, the Friday for the LCQ, Sunday for the groups, and then the top 8 live as it happens, right? Notably, in case you are curious or need a reminder, there was that graphic that had everyone who was qualified besides the LCQ, right, on Twitter. Does anyone still have that? For UK time, it's 6 p.m. for groups and 9:30 finals. There you go. If you can't convert and live in the UK, well, there's a little bit of knowledge for you. Remember that little visual thing? It had it showed everyone who was qualified and what character they played. That'd be a nice, because I can show these right here, but some people might not know, who plays what. Let me go find that if I can. This is it. Thank you very much, Zach. Thank you. I appreciate it greatly. This is the exact thing I wanted to show, just because I think it's nice to have everyone and their and the characters they play and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I thought Belial, the way Aaron Damac talks about Belial, you'd think they made him bottom 1. And apparently, according to him, Koji's dooming even harder, right? So, I didn't think Belial got hit that hard. He got nerfed, for sure. And, he's one of the only characters that got nerfed in a significant way in this patch. So that definitely does hurt more, right? When you get nerfed and, characters around you in top tier, like Beatrix or Catalina didn't really either, right? Beatrix or Cat or whoever, stay about the same. It double hurts, right? But I thought he was still probably pretty good, right? But apparently not. People are talking about this character like he's dropped, 2 tiers or something like that. So... yeah, Aaron is probably not going to play Belial in... maybe he'll bring it out if he feels like he needs a comfort pick or something. But I do wonder, basically, how the patch is going to affect some of these players. Gamera, I'm telling you right now, Gamera's chilling, right? Gamera plays Beatrix and Versuja. And listen, Beatrix has been hit harder than other characters because of the weakening of guard cancels. Yeah, sure, man. Listen, Gamera's way better than I am at Grand Blue, but I don't know, that sounds like a professional player who's trying to downplay his character because he has a vested interest in doing so to me. That's all I'm going to say. Beatrix got off like a fucking bandit in the last patch, and Versuja also benefited greatly, right? So he's fine. Space, fine, probably. Koji and Aaron, I have no idea who they may be playing. Seox is still good, right? Soares, if anything, is probably better in this patch than he was, right? Matera got buffed pretty hard, so Monarch's probably pretty happy about it, right? Though again, I think the Brave counter changes are not... They're give and take for Matera. They can help make some of her hop setups better. Coco's on B, that makes sense. I think it's, you know, that makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't be surprised if like Aaron was too or something like that. Bile is so good, but going from debatably top 1 to debatably high tier is a humongous nerf. That's true. That's fair. I mean, yes, but it is more so like, if you think about it, it's more so that he fell like 5 spots on the tier list, right? But yeah, when you say it like that, definitely you can frame it to be like pretty big, right? But yeah, like, you know, Sora's doing just fine. Matera's doing just fine. Kalina's doing just fine. Grimnir is, to my understanding, all the changes he got they seem kind of nothing burger. There are going to be some instances now where Grim gets like a little bit less meter or does like a little bit less damage or something like that, right? But like he's more than okay. And again, a lot of characters around him got a little weaker, so he's probably fine. He probably likes, I mean, the meterless DP changes are great for him too because he doesn't have one. So he just gets better combos for no downside at all, right? Percy, I mean, Toro's is Percy and Siegfried. Siegfried actually is one of the other characters I think who's like moderately worse, right? Like he did lose, like his mid screen is quite a bit worse, just because like his conversions off like 6XL into far L gets him like nothing now, basically, unless he wants to Raging Strike, which I mean everyone's got good mid screen with Raging Strike, right? So like I don't know if he's still really solid though, so I don't know if Citizen's gonna swap or anything like that. Like is everyone just gonna be playing Beatrix and Versucha? Who knows? Maybe. Can't wait for Belial since I fully committed to him. Again, I think Belial's still pretty damn good, right? But yeah, he's not top 1 anymore. He's not even in that discussion for sure. So like even if he is high tier now, you know, when you're trying to play for $100,000, you're gonna pick the best character you can play, right? Which is probably not gonna be Belial at this point. Maybe, but if you have any other character that you're comfortable with in top tier, like if you have a Pocket Beatrix or whatever, it's probably a better choice at this point. Yeah, I mean, Zerom is... We don't have to talk about Zerom, right? Zerom's obviously... Shada, I'm not entirely sure if Shada is, like, better or worse this patch. Her reversals are a lot worse. But, like, her light DP, she has some better anti-air stuff she can do with it now. You know, I mean, I don't think BC being worse is, like... It is kind of good for her, because she... she gets BC'd in her special moves a lot. So, like, Charlotta probably is just a little worse this patch, if I had to guess. But, I mean, Zerom is not playing anyone else besides Charlotta, right? So, there's no need to discuss anything like that, right? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Lucilius, so I want to talk about Zippy last here. This character is the actual, the more I think about it, this guy is the real biggest loser of the patch, in my opinion, right? So, I mean, Zippy plays a lot of different characters. I would be a little surprised if I saw him on Lucy, right? I mean, he plays, I know he's playing Nier, obviously that's not going to be the case anymore either. I don't think he'll be on Lucilius. I mean, maybe his ass picks up a Gamera, a Versuja, or a Beatrix or something, but Char's better this patch for better players, worse for worse players. Interesting. Okay. Like she's got some stuff she can do, but yeah, if you just want to like rely on DP all the time, you're going to die a lot more. But yeah, so this to me is the most interesting one, right? I wonder if Zippy's going to be on Lucilius. Again, I would imagine the answer is no. Lucy is still good, by the way, but like, genuinely, if there's a character that dropped like a tier and a half this patch, it might have been this guy, to me. I think Belial got nerfed for sure, Siegfried got nerfed for sure. This guy had one line in his patch notes, and I want to talk about this in more detail, actually. I'll probably like do a quick video on that after. But this guy, to me, feels like he really did get hit the hardest, right? So it's going to be curious to see. And of course, then this TBD slot is whoever gets in through the LCQ. That could be any number of motherfuckers. I don't know who's quality. I mean, Yago's in that shit. It'd be cool to see him in there if he does manage to make it all the way through, right? There's a whole bunch of people who are going to that LCQ. It could be a real wrench in the works for sure. But like by and large, I think most of these players are probably going to play the character they used to play, right? I see no reason for rookies or Riazo to switch. I see no reason for Skill to switch. Monarch, Gamera, Saki, Elsa, Tororo, Zane, Space, Zerom, right? Almost all of them are going to probably be playing the same character, if I have to guess. But yeah, like Aaron, Koji, Fitizen, and Zippy, I'm a little curious about. I mean, Koji we already know basically a switch to be. Aaron, I'm not sure. He's not dooming quite as hard as Koji is, so I'm not sure. But it'll be curious to see, right? And then again, whoever ends up through the LCQ. But yeah, just wanted to talk about that real quick, considering again we are revving back up for the Arc World Tour Finals here. Elsa may be playing Versusi. Really? I mean, she's damn good, certainly. If Elsa already had a Versuja ready, then there's no reason for it to not really. Versuja has been, she's quite good, and then she got benefited pretty heavily, I think, by the patch. Elsa's on Sussy. I saw Koji on a mad Sandy grind. That's an interesting thing. I will Sandalphon, we'll talk about it in a second here. I think Sandalphon is quite good. I think Sandalphon is quite solid. I think he's like top half of the cast's, you know, borderline top 10 kind of character. I don't think he's, you know, he's not Beatrix, he's not Catalina, he's not Versuja, right? He's not Grimnir. He's not Seox or Soras either, right? So I'd be surprised if he switched from Belial to Sandalphon, but maybe. I can see, like, if Sandalphon gets, you know, if he gets developed a little bit more, because there are some weird situations with him, right? We've seen, like, the angelic backshots with Earth, or, like, the unblockable setups with Water and stuff. If, like, he gets more setups that make him, you know, let him get into that kind of stuff, like, more consistently, or he can do it in different situations or something, he's got just enough bullshit that I could see him being really good, right? Like, really, really strong. But I'm not quite so sure that he's necessarily the choice for Arc World Tour. Sandy might legit be better than Belial? Maybe? Maybe? But if that were to be the case, I would think it's just because Sandy is better than people say he is, not that Belial is that bad, right? Like, if Sandy's better than Belial, it's because Sandalphon is, like, you know, top tier, and Belial is, like, top of high tier, or bottom of top tier, or something like that, I think, right? I don't think it would be because, like, Sandalphon is mid and Belial's even midder. But we'll see. If Koji does switch to Sandalphon, I'll be very curious. I do want to see, like, what a really, really good Sandalphon looks like. I mean, I fought him in Master on his Sandalphon a couple of times, like, a couple weeks ago, and he beat my ass, but to be expected, right? So if he can get it, like, Arc World Tour ready, it'd be very interesting to see how he plays Sandy on, like, a world-class level, right? But yeah, Arc World Tour, man. Fun times. This weekend, again, real quick, this weekend, 3 p.m. Pacific time on the Friday for the LCQ, 10 a.m. Pacific time on the Saturday for the groups, and then 2 p.m. Pacific time on the Sunday for the actual top 8 and the finals to see who's going to go home with, I believe, it's the prize pool is $100,000, or is it $100,000 for first place? Actually, not entirely sure. Regardless, it's a lot of money either way. If it's 50 for first place or something like that, still, you know, that's a good amount of money. We do fuck with that, certainly. Fun times, man. Excited to watch this weekend for sure.